Adapt EMS Ltd, based in Hitchin, Hertfordshire, offers electronic manufacturing services.
In 2006, we purchased what was known at the time as Whedon Electronics. We purchased another company which was actually in administration, which was a much larger company but had clearly failed. But the absolute plan was to put the two together and give it a new lease of life. So part of that was that we got two MRP systems. So we had the version 4 123insight software from the original small Whedon company. We had a much larger system. It was 150k was the purchase value of the system, just to scale the size of it, and it was about 120k's worth of customisation and installation, so it was in excess of £250,000. With a much larger software package, we were very concerned about the ongoing costs of that, 20% annual support charges, total inflexibility over licenses, despite the fact we bought the company, they were insisting we relicense the software. And the roadmap they showed us was didn't look very impressive, frankly. At the same time, the 123insight guys showed us version 5 software, a major redevelopment of the software, SQL based, looked very much more appealing to us. The particular thing was that we didn't have to, there were no initial cost to us, because it's done on the subscription model.
Before selecting 123insight, Guy attended a user forum for the competing product.
The open Q&A session with the users was a revelation. And if I ever need any convincing I wasn't going to stay with the software, that did it. They were actually torn to shreds for lack of development and instability of the software. We could also not have gone with either MRP system, we could have gone with something else. And we had looked around the market and had just met with the absolute sort of traditional sort of MRP vendor sort of model, basically, of expensive purchase costs, expensive optimization costs, ongoing software support costs. Every time we added those up, we came up with a figure in six-figure sort of number, against which we could look at you guys and pay a straightforward subscription model.
The company decided to select 123insight, migrating from version 4 to version 5.
We worked out an implementation plan sort of derived from our initial mistakes, after which the implementation has gone extremely smoothly. And by using the data import module now, in fact, we use the same sort of techniques that we use for transferring data from older systems. We now use for transferring neutral data in at quite astonishing rates.
Adapt EMS went live across all departments, transferring basic static information across and migrating information across a section or product at a time.
As an electronics manufacturer, we have in excess of 20,000 lines of parts. So to actually migrate all of those in one go and manage all of the obsolescence and manage all of the associated issues is something that's very demanding for a small company. So we migrated all the departments in one go. Effectively, we ran the system slightly in parallel, so new works orders were placed on the new system, and as old works orders came to a conclusion, they then ceased on the old system, and we migrated in that way in a very staged sort of process. It became very painless once we understood what we were doing, and it was very effective.
Several significant benefits were immediately apparent.
What we noticed immediately though was usability. People were able to use the system, frankly, without sort of having all of them having to go on full training courses. The expensive of the old systems would require 4-digit sort of speed codes to get to various sections of it. Absolutely sort of hideous DOS or even older based the stuff, even though the system purportedly ran on Windows. Now people were right-clicking on it, exporting spreadsheets of data, inquiring on parts and finding information, and it was a breath of fresh air. And it was just the usability. People were able to get around their tasks much more quickly. People weren't having to sort of effectively escalate things to senior members of staff or engineers to try and find answers to the questions that they had. The whole visibility was just light and day compared to what we had before.
Guy attended training initially, but since 2006, several staff have also attended the various courses that make up the 6 days of training covering the system. Guy said that the training was received very enthusiastically.
Without exception, everybody said the training's been absolutely excellent, enjoyable, actually wanted to go back for more training. And that's not not necessarily typical. Some people will endure training and just see it as a day out. Without exception, people come back very excited about it, wanting to try it on the system. Love the training notes as well, the fact that the training notes are available, they can just thumb through those. Particular things that we absolutely adore on the system really are the ability just to recreate a sample training database in a couple of mouse clicks. It means that somebody can just go and do a little subsection of the training if they want to just revisit something if they've forgotten how to do it or just want to investigate it. And in a similar vein, the fact that we can just copy the main live database as a trial database or whatever you want to call it, and again that process, even with a database that's now 1 or 2 gig in size, will take under a minute to achieve. And then we have a trial database where we can not just play with training data, but we can actually experiment how, if we try something that we learned on the training course, what effect it has on live data. And that flexibility is exceptional.
Adapt EMS have taken advantage of 123insight's flexible licensing structure, allowing them to increase or decrease the number of licenses in use on a month-by-month basis. Guy also appreciates the fact that 123insight is supplied complete and not modular.
We work across 2 sites, so for example, obviously you can only have the database in one place, so we run our remote side over terminal server. And that works absolutely fine, and of course that implements licenses in a slightly different way, which helps us on the flexibility side of things. But the main thing that we have in terms of flexibility, of course, is that it's all features on all stations. Managers can walk up to any terminal, use any function they want to. But then within that, of course, you've got an incredibly granular security model to restrict people by their login to pretty much whatever level of security you want. So again, that's also catered for very effectively indeed.
In addition to ease of use, there were some tangible savings made. Due to better identification and control of stock, there was a 20% reduction, which equated to a £60,000 saving. The data import facility, so useful during initial migration, has also proven an important factor in their ability to respond to new inquiries. With BOMs often consisting of 150 lines containing up to 1,000 parts, 123insight has provided tools to load jobs, run MRP, identify the requirements and generate purchase orders, all extremely quickly.
When I talk to acquaintances I have in the industry, they're completely taken aback by the fact that we can import a new job in seconds, possibly minutes at most, where they will be taking half a day to import things. We derive great value from that, and it gives us a great competitive edge in terms of responding quickly to very fast requirements, which is the world we live in. It compares to our old system, which, you got a job on in 2 days, you'd be lucky.
Since migrating to version 5 in 2006, Adapt EMS have upgraded several times.
Flawless. Whenever there's a major update, we notify it, we download it, we get very clear instructions. It goes absolutely seamlessly. We had one gremlin once, and we received very prompt, very immediate, very technically capable support to work around that issue. We were up and running again within an hour or 2. It's a great credit actually, how well you guys do that. For a modest sized company to deliver that level of reliability of upgrade is an achievement. The software is only part of it. You're looking at the company, the supplier that you're dealing with, the people that you're dealing with, and the access, as you say, that we have to top line, very capable support. Without having to go through several tiers and such like to actually get to the answers that we need. 123 support, without sort of being too cliche, is exemplary. We have great commercial support. I wish a lot more of our suppliers would offer that level of support, to be honest. It's one of the strongest features of the business model that you can offer. And the other thing I think is worth pointing out is that for a modest size organisation such as yourselves, the stability of your software, the lack of bugs is just really quite awe-inspiring, really.
Adapt EMS holds both ISO 9001 and ISO 13485 covering traceability to medical standards. During a recent quality assessment, Guy noted that even the assessors appreciated 123insight's advanced serial tracking.
The assessors that came in and looked initially when we were adopting this standard were actually said at the time they were thoroughly impressed with how effective the system was. And that's a classic case, I think, where 123insight have recognised the market they're in and the customers that they serve, and that we've seen that as an enhancement delivered to the software in the last few years. We've now adopted it. It's helping our business move forwards.
Adapt EMS have adopted 123insight's SDK and CRM Plus options. SDK is being used to provide wireless kitting via tablet PCs, while Guy cites Adapt EMS as being one of the companies working with 123insight to develop its CRM Plus, which is currently being rolled out across the company.
We were one of the initial sort of major proponents of you guys putting some CRM functionality in the software, precisely because it is the main software that we work with to operate our company. It makes all the sense in the world to have a straightforward CRM solution built directly into the software.
The company has grown tenfold since 2006, now turning over in excess of £5 million. 123insight subscription was less than originally spent on the competing product alone, not even taking the 20% annual maintenance into consideration. Guy is so happy with 123insight that he even allows the company to host its evaluation workshops at his premises, which also provides prospective clients with an opportunity to see the software in operation live.
It's been a much better experience, to be honest. Plus, as a company, we have to lay out that financial investment as a lump sum which potentially would appear on our balance sheet as a long-term debt to be paid off. So I'm quite happy with the way we've done it. We're just delighted with the software. We love the way the company runs, and it's a very positive scenario to be in.